Hello, so we're going to look at this particular problem, sine of x minus pi over 2. Now, I recognize this is really close to a co-function, except that in a co-function I would need to have it the form of pi over 2 minus x. I would need these switched. So what I want to do is I want to factor out a negative sign. So what I'm going to do is say, oh, I want this pi over 2 minus x, because if it's in that form, I know the sine of pi over 2 minus x is cosine. But to get that form, I have to factor out a negative sign. Right? So how do I do? If I check it, I do negative, and I distribute it to the pi over 2, I'll get the negative pi over 2, and then negative times a negative is a positive, I'll get that positive x. So I'm just restating this in the form so that I can then use it. But I can't yet say that sine of negative of pi over 2 minus x is cosine of x to use the cos function formula. I have to get it in the right form, so I somehow have to get kind of rid of this negative sign or do something with it. Well, remember that sine of a negative angle is the negative of the sine of the positive angle. Now, honestly, it doesn't matter if it's positive. This could actually be a negative here, and I have a double negative. But it basically, if I have the sine of a negative whatever angle, that's equal to the negative sine of that whatever angle, whatever it is. So it doesn't necessarily mean that theta has to be positive. It's just that it looks like it right now. All right, so now what I'm going to do is use this identity right here, and I have the sine of the negative of an angle where I'm letting this whole thing be an angle. So if it helps, you could say let theta equal pi over 2 minus x, and then you'd have sine of negative theta is what you really have there. Here. And now I'm going to apply this and say, oh, well, that's negative sine of theta, but now let me put it back into what they originally gave me, sine of pi over 2 minus x. Because that's what I let theta be, pi over 2 minus x. Right? And so now you're ready to finally able to apply the co-function and say, oh, but sine of pi over 2 minus x is the same thing as cosine of x, and then carry your negative sign. So your final answer is right here, negative cosine of x. All right? Thanks so much for listening.